With Virtue Zone live here on Dubai Eye 103.8 FM. We are talking businesses with purpose. We've got Virtue Zone's CFO, Sagar Chandaramani, is keeping us company this morning. All good that side of the desk, Sagar, all well?
So far, so good.
So far,
We're
so
meeting
good.
in between profit and purpose.
We are bringing together a number of different visionaries. We have got Carl and Adrian sticking around with us here in studio, but also want to meet our next guest as well. Another Dubai newbie making his way to Dubai. Mark Black has joined us live in studio. Mark has spent 25 years in property development across the UK and Europe, refurbishments, large-scale regeneration, now expanding into Dubai through modernistic developments, which also working in clean energy via H2 Purus. So, first and foremost, Mark, welcome. Thanks so much indeed for joining us. Great to have you on board.
Thank you.
Good to have you with us. And let's talk about the businesses if we can. Let's start with clean energy if we can. So, what's the theory and the concept behind H2 Purus?
I got involved about 3 years ago with it's energy tech. So we have three techs. One is a solar paint that produces probably 38.7% output, which is double most solar panels, which is groundbreaking. And I think one of the problems we've had with that is proving it. So we've now had it certified by TUV, who are a world testing authority, and we're now at the industrial pilot stage. So we're doing pilots in Dubai, in Marbella, in America, and the UK to get industrial pilot certification. The next tech is green hydrogen, which is made from seawater, which breaks down the atom with high frequency sound waves, which is new, and we're doing some pilots in Wales and Aberdeen, and we can we're producing a hydrogen cheaper than probably you can produce any energy in the world, and it's on demand. So it's literally a generator that's the size of a Coca-Cola machine that you put 1,100, 1,200 litres of water, and it can produce enough energy to power 150 odd houses per day.
I'm loving this because, as we say, it's business with purpose, and there's something new coming to market, and people are looking to do things a little bit differently. They're looking to be more efficient, etc. But it also fits in with your other business, modernistic developments, as we mentioned, 25 years in the business, property development, markets the world over. There's a few developers here at the moment, Mark. What sort of sets you apart? Why Dubai? Why now?
I think it's so, if you've been in England and you've been in Spain, it's so bureaucratic. Everything is a committee. So you could buy some land in the middle of a housing estate. It could take you 2 or 3 years to get planning. And it could be you could have a neighbour that says, I don't like that. And they take that neighbour. Whereas over here, if somebody wants to build a main road and it's good for Dubai, it gets built within, and it gets built quickly. Whereas everything that in the UK takes forever, infrastructure, it never happens. They talk about it, they have committees, and it just goes on forever and a day. And then when we left Europe, we had a complete construction, I won't call it a breakdown, but we lost about 400,000 workers that went back to Europe. Yeah. And there is a huge loss of labour. So nothing gets built, things are more expensive. And, the UK is just struggling with a labour force. It actually hasn't got one. So when I went to Spain, it was during Corona, so it was a way of just, not being, I won't call it prison, but it was a way of basically not being confined. And I'd rather be in a sunny climate than being locked in the house. And then I think that when you look at Dubai, I had a few friends out here, and everybody was saying it's fast, the energy is incredible. And I came out here last October. And to be honest, I met some of my old friends who were out here who were just thriving, just the energy of them, and it just seemed to be the next move. I mean, I've got 4 children. I've got one still in Marbella. I've got 3 basically who are here. They're probably all listening, and they had friends out here as well, and they've just hit the ground running. They all they all love it.
Yeah, it's good community of kids. That's for sure.
It's a great place to live. It's safe.
So, question mark here then for you from a business point of view. As we mentioned, plenty of developers out there. We know that, don't need to me to tell you about the property market here, the real estate, and the headlines it's creating, the buzz it's creating the world over at the moment. How do you, as a developer, set yourself apart from the competition?
Well, we're looking at turning a building into a battery cell. So our aim is to be completely off grid. Okay, so the outside of every building should have enough energy to power the whole building green, and that is really we want to turn buildings into battery cells. As simple as that.
Adrian, I saw you nodding away there as well. I mean, with your AI hat on and all the sort of learnings that you've taken from the world of AI, again, is this feeding in to what Mark was saying there about there being less red tape, things getting done here as well, that can-do attitude? Is that filtering through in every industry and every senior management that you're sitting, anyone that you're meeting through Meet Magic and otherwise?
Absolutely, right. I think Mark raised a good point on the infrastructure side of things. You need to build a road. The decision velocity here is unprecedented. In fact, one of the large projects that I'm involved in was the AI campus, right, which is building a 5 gigawatt data center facility, which is part of a national AI scale program. And it's also linked in with the clean and green energy requirements now are becoming a key priority to power AI into the future. Right, so if you think about the consumption, the US is struggling to keep up with the energy requirements. We're seeing Europe struggling to keep up with the energy requirements. I think some of the advancements in the solar technology. Look, I coated my villa with solar panels, right? I think the limitless free energy that comes from the sun is underutilized, right? And the sun's 99.9% of the mass of the universe, right? So we have this limitless source of energy that we could be doing a lot more to harness. And yes, AI is one of those industries that will be benefiting quite substantially.
That's going to need a bit of energy as well, isn't
Absolutely.
it? So, adding to.
Absolutely.
The clarity that you talk of there, and the ability to sort of know, the regulations you're working in and where you can go with the businesses and what you're trying to achieve. Have you noticed a difference in terms of getting up and running here compared to back in the UK or Europe?
I came over and I was recommended Virtuzone. And I'm not just plugging them because they're here, but it was a...
You can though. They're just
okay. But it was an incredibly easy process. It was just fill out a form, sign a form, and the whole process was seamless. So setting it up, where in the UK, you've got, it's a lot cheaper, but it's all over the place. You have to do this there, that there, that there, this there. With these guys, basically, it's just a one-stop shop.
So just to take your sort of take on that as well. I mean, have things got quicker? I mean, you mentioned that you spent your entire adult life here. You spent, the business infrastructure inside out. In terms of the sort of ease of getting started and starting up, has it got easier?
See, it's definitely got easier, but more importantly, it's gone digital. So what happens as Mark just said, as far as he as a client of Virtuzone is concerned, he was brought in on the table, had to sign a few forms, and probably in a week you had your license and the weeds are done. But that was only possible because a lot of the hard work was already done by us to build the infrastructure at the back end. So in a country like UAE, where you've got 7 emirates, you've got yet 55 to 60 free zones, and you've got 7 mainlands. So it could get complex from an understanding perspective that which free zone is best suited for your type of business, because there are some free zones like DMCC which are focused on a particular line of business, for example, metals and commodities. You've got DFSA, which is looking for financial services, and then you've got the mainlands, and then you've got the more simpler ones like a Maidan free zone or creative city in Fujairah, the ones that are pretty agnostic to your business. But then you have to know what suits well from your target customer base and what you're looking to do. So definitely the UAE has always been at the forefront of change, and this makes me quote what Mohammed Al-Abbar, who's the CEO of Emaar, had once said in one of the meetings, is the full world is focusing on election.
Yes.
Here we focus on construction.
I saw that. Yeah.
And something which, keeping aside my background in finance, but something which Mark just said about how we can, and you know what, even Adrian echoed, how we can harness the power of the sun, for example. It's an absolutely underutilized source of energy. And particularly going back to a little bit of basics, kinetic energy, for example, largely underutilized because this can self-empower movement of turbines, essentially, which don't need the typical sources of electricity or fossil fuels to charge your building or to get to have your lights in the building. So I think that element of sustainability, which the UAE has been forefronting and is now pushing forward, is something which generally complements where we want to go.
Got to get to the roads very quickly. Talking of busy environments, what's happening with the traffic?
Dubai Eye 103.8 traffic.
Sponsored by Yas Island Abu Dhabi. Stay at iconic hotels and play at record-breaking theme parks. Book now on yasisland.com.
Good news is it's Friday, so not a huge amount. Listen, things will get busier. Around about 11 to 11:30, school pickup, in case you've forgotten. So things will get busy in and around there. We are, though, seeing fewer cars, I should say, on the roads on a Friday morning. More and more people are working from home on a Friday, or pretending to at least. We will have more on that for you throughout the day, keeping you updated on the roads.
This is Dubai Eye 103.8. Dubai Eye 103.